made itself manifest even more strongly in the approach to Regulation 19 Borough Local Plan consultation. Are councillors aware that a leading QC has provided written opinion that this approach is unlawful and Regulation 19 consultation should be abandoned and recommenced in a legally compliant manner?
I believe Councillor Dudley would like to answer that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. In fact, the barrister's opinion which we received, which we believe is actually from someone who is connected with the campaign for rbwm, is being reviewed by Rob Arrow, Maidenhead's barrister, and we will get a written opinion next week, and then we will then issue that on the website. We will also be responding to a piece of correspondence from Sajid Javid, which again will deal with the opinion as well. In the interest of transparency, that will be on the website. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Hill, please ask your second question.
Thank you. On June the 29th, it's addressed to Councillor Dudley, on June the 29th, Councillor Dudley announced on Twitter that the monitoring officer had determined no breach of the Code of Conduct by Councillor Saunders. However, I could find no official determination published on rbwm's Code of Conduct webpage, so I don't know what he was cleared of. Who told you there had been a determination of no breach, and when did they tell you that?
Please, Councillor Dudley, please respond.
Yep, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Andrew, Mr. Hill, good to see you as always. The monitoring officer made an initial assessment, consulted with the independent person, and decided not to proceed with the complaint. I understand that is the end of the matter. There is no need for any official determination to be published on rbwm's webpage. The monitoring officer informed the managing director that she would not be proceeding with the complaint on the 29th of June 2017. Actually, I received an email confirming such, and that's when, because it was a matter of public interest, I announced that on Twitter, so that members of the public who were interested in this understood the status. The complaint was dealt with under the initial assessment process under our Code of Conduct and did not proceed to a formal determination of whether there was a breach or not, because there had not been one.
Mr. Hill, do you have a supplementary question?
Yes, if it would, Councillor Dudley, you've taken an interest in sports able in the last few days, you probably have for a long time, but can I ask a question about that? Would that be acceptable?
No, that's not the question. You may not ask a new question.
Okay, well, then I'll have to respect Councillor Saunders then, and then I'll follow that up. In an earlier... Sorry?
So as a supplementary question, yes, sorry.
Yeah, I was just asking if you were prepared to comment on the sports able situation. No? No? Okay. Fair enough.
We can't have a new question.
Can I ask about Councillor Saunders then? In an earlier Code of Conduct decision notice, rbwm 6.17, April the 20th, the Deputy Monitoring Officer, Mary Severin, states that Councillor Saunders referred to a member of the public as a silly person and an anarchist. And I'd like him to, if he thinks I'm saying anything wrong, then please correct me.
I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with the question she's supplied.
Why is it nothing to do with Councillor Saunders and Code of Conduct? It's about Councillor Saunders' Code of Conduct.
Please, this has nothing to do with it. Councillor Dudley, do you wish to respond to this final point? Or?
Yeah, I haven't asked a question for you to respond to. Are you really seriously going to not accept a question about Councillor Saunders' Code of Conduct as a supplementary to a question about Councillor Saunders' Code of Conduct? And the monitoring officers now arrived, now that we've just seen that.
I understand you're referring to a different Code of Conduct, and this would require a separate question coming.
No, it's about the principle of Code of Conduct.
No, it's a bit different, a Code of Conduct. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, if I can just say, Andrew, Mr. Hill, if you'd like to write to me on this, I'll respond to you straight away.
That's awful. It's clearly a supplementary on the same subject.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. That's enough.
Please feel free to write to me and I'll respond to you. I thought that was a perfectly reasonable suggestion, Mr. Hill. Thank you.
Next we have Mr. Paul Sargent. Would you please step forward to the microphone and ask your first question?
Hello. The background to this question is addressed to Councillor Wilson. The background to this question is it's about the validity and completeness of the borough local plan. And here's the question. Residents were sent an email on July 14th informing us of a new call for sites. No announcement of any such impending consultation was made at the borough local plan extraordinary meeting on June the 19th or elsewhere. Given that the borough local plan has already been approved for submission, can the Royal Borough explain why this sudden call for sites is required, please?
Councillor Wilson, please respond.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Mr. Surgeon, for actually putting forward this question. If I can respond, the Council has undertaken a call for sites that encourages developers, landowners and other interested parties to promote sites for development. Sites can be promoted at any time, but a regular call for sites ensures the latest information is submitted in order to update council databases. The last call for sites was undertaken in 2015. The information submitted helps to inform the Housing and Employment Land Availability Assessment, otherwise known as HELA, which is a technical study of all potential housing, economic and retail sites within the borough. The HELA attempts to establish realistic assumptions about the number of homes, employment and retail floor space that this land could yield and the time frame within which this is likely to come forward. The identification of a site in the HELA does not necessarily mean that the site will be allocated for development or that planning permission will be granted. The information submitted may result in changes to the deliverability classification of sites assessed in the HELA 2016 and which will inform the latest version of the HELA. The Borough Local Plan has been published under Regulation 19 of the Local Plan and Local Planning England Regulations 2012. The information submitted during the call for sites will be considered in relation to the sites proposed in the Borough Local Plan and subject to the wishes of the planning inspector may be discussed at the examination of the Borough Local Plan. The updated HELA will also inform the Council's monitoring functions and the production of an authority's monitoring report, which will need to accompany the Borough Local Plan when it is submitted through to the Secretary of State.
Mr. Senator, do you have a supplementary question?
I do. My name's Sergeant.
Sergeant, sorry.
Okay. I do, and this is all about the sites in the borough local plan. And the supplementary question I would like to ask is, an independent Greenbelt review for the whole borough was provided to the Royal Borough by Bell Cornwell as part of their Regulation 18 response. Have any changes been made to the borough local plan because of the content of that Greenbelt review?
Councillor Wilson, please respond.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There were a number of representations made during the Regulation 18 process, some of which have been incorporated within the Regulation 19 process, which is out at the moment and will continue until the 25th of August for responses. Now, those responses, technically Regulation 19 is on legal and technical soundness of the plan, but in addition to that, members of the public can make representations and they will be forwarded to the Secretary of State at the appropriate time. But certainly on points that have been raised with Regulation 18, we have already responded to those and they're currently on the borough's website with their appropriate response. And equally, those will be those have been dealt with, and you can actually view them from the website.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Wilson. Next item. Can I confirm that no petitions have been received? Yes, The next item to consider is for the Council to consider is Council Plan 2017 to 21 and Performance Management Framework. Councillor Dudley, as reporting member, would you like to say a few words of introduction, please?
Yes, I'm happy to do that, Mr. Mayor. Councillor Williams would have taken this paper, but he's skillfully decided to be on holiday, probably enjoying his dinner at this moment. Wish him all the best. This paper, since 2016, well, since the corporate strategy of 2016 to 2020 was approved in December 2015, Council has significantly transformed its operating